The next boss on our list is the Parade Master. As soon as you go into the boss arena, the first thing he does is dash towards you and thrust at you with his left arm. He may do this once or twice, depending on your playthrough, because RNG and whatnot. Another move he has is where he crosses both arms and then a downward slash and then to each corresponding side. That's not a red move, that's a normal move. He also does this quite a bit. Another move he loves doing is he will jump in the air and just crash his body all the way down to the floor. This move specifically, you have to time the dodge. The dodge needs to be perfectly timed, otherwise you will constantly be hit. You can also perfect parry this move. Both of these options are very effective. Another move he has is his red attack. His red attack is he crosses both his arms and he just slams them both on the floor. One thing that I've noticed with red attacks is you can't time them perfectly with a dodge. If it's a red attack, you have to either run from it or perfect parry it. Either one of those two is perfect. If you don't do any of them and you try to dodge or you don't perfect parry, you will be hit. The one thing I love about this boss is the fact that he is slow, and whenever he crashes onto the floor, he takes a few seconds to stand up. This gives you roughly about 3 to 4 seconds to get some good damage in if you are close enough, which is amazing. At this point in time, if you have done enough damage, he will show the white outline around his health bar. But what I realized about the time when I fought him, when he had the white outline around his health bar, it quickly disappeared because he was going into phase 2. I don't know if anyone else has that same experience, but normally speaking, if he has the white outline around his health bar, you should be able to charge attack him and get the stagger in. And then once you have the stagger in, feel free to charge attack him a second time before doing the repost animation. At this point in time, 3 things should have happened. He should either be dead, close to dying, or just getting into second phase. So let's get into second phase and the moves that he has real quick. At the beginning of second phase, he takes the basket from his back, slams it on the floor, and pulls out the rod or stick thingy on his head to reveal a weapon, a melee weapon. I was honestly able to kill him pretty quickly in his second phase, so I don't have much visuals to show you guys. And I believe you can do the same too, but just for the people who haven't, I am relying on my second character here to show you some visuals of the moves that he has. Okay, so first things first, if you are standing at a certain distance away from him, he will double hop to you and do like a swing attack with his melee weapon. This move is a 2-hit combo. So every single time he double hops to you, he will swing with his weapon to your right and then swing back again to your left. So you have to either dodge both of these attacks or perfect parry both of these attacks. Majority of the rest of his attacks in phase 2 are literally just him swinging his melee weapon left and right. As you can see right here, this is all he is doing. That's the crux of this phase 2. So it's pretty easy to dodge. It's pretty easy to maneuver your way around it, and you can punish his attacks because I said earlier he is very slow. Because he's a slow boss, it makes it easy to punish and easy to just deal with. He also does a couple of phase 1 moves, one of them being he will jump in the air and crash on the floor. I already talked about how to deal with that, so you're okay with that move. He does have one red attack, and that red attack is literally just a normal but strengthened left swing. He does this swing normally, it's just now red, so which means it's a stronger attack and he will do a lot more damage. I chose to parry here, but you can either parry or run away from it. Again, him being so slow, you can do either one and you'll be perfectly fine. So that is pretty much it for the Parade Master for both phase 1 and phase 2. Just to inform my parry fiends, as soon as he brought out a melee weapon, this means he is now capable of losing said weapon. If you are parrying him constantly, you will break that weapon, which forces him to do way less damage to you, therefore making the fight a heck of a lot more easier because he doesn't really hit hard anymore. If you have done everything I've said from the beginning, then he should be dead. He really should be dead, and if he is not, you could just rinse and repeat until he is. If you are perfect parrying, because he thrashes so much, you can either choose to parry or choose to dodge. If you are dodging him, you could just watch him thrash about, wait until there's an opening space and just attack him, and just rinse and repeat until he's dead, and that's literally it. There is one more thing that I forgot to mention. As with every other puppet in the game, he is very weak to electricity. You don't have an electric weapon at the start of the game, unfortunately, but you can get an electric grinder as well as a throwing cell from the vendor before the fight. Throwing the throwing cells at the boss makes him even more easy. I mean, can he get any easier than this? And also, imbuing your weapon with electricity is sure to do a heck of a lot more damage and just makes this fight a breeze. Just a quick note, if you throw the throwing cells at the boss or you imbue your weapons with electricity and you do the damage to the boss, you will notice that they have this electric current around them, as well as the damage numbers by the health bar turns blue. This is because the boss now has an electrified status, and because of this you do a heck of a lot more damage to them than your regular attacks. This status effect lasts between 30 to 40 seconds depending on the boss. Obviously for much later bosses it might last a lot less, but still use this to your advantage, get those damage in there, and it should be easy to get done. But yeah, that is it for the Parade Master, and move on to the next one.